What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. It is Saturday, November 22nd, 2025, and we are here at the northern threshold of the Aalsmeerbaan. Runway 18 left. One of the two runways in use for departures right now. E2 Embraer 195 to Krakow. KLM flight 1523. A very good morning to everybody who has joined. QJ, Erik, Klaas, Buddy, Teun, Jamhuis, Honda, Hans, Ramon, Peter. Good morning, one and all. It is chilly, it is windy, but it is dry. As you can see by the windsock in the foreground, the wind is blowing from the south. More or less. Hey Ricardo, goedemorgen. Tabatenpop, goedemorgen. MG Airways, good morning. Morning sunshine, or at least morning lighting. Current status quo, this is what things look like to the south. This is what things look like to the east. This is what things look like in the west and north of us. It looks like so. E2 Embraer 195 to Bilbao in the north of Spain, KLM flight 1523. JP Kraus, good morning. René, goedemorgen. Jean-Yves, salut mon ami. Marit, goedemorgen. Gurdeep, good morning. Armen. KLM flight 1799 to Düsseldorf. Might be that we see that taking off from this runway. Unless it is between 11 and 11:40 your departure. Might actually be a flight that we are going to see, flight 1799 to Düsseldorf. Tuggers are ready, but it's getting a bit busy over here, so I'm not sure when they are allowed to pass the runway. United in the background. 10:10. Ah, nice. So we should see Armen's departure to Düsseldorf. Armen, are you seated on the left-hand side? If so, when turning onto the runway, you might be able to flash the light to us. Freek, goedemorgen. Mali, goedemorgen. Leo, goedemorgen. Melvin, goedemorgen. Henk, goedemorgen. A747 guy, goedemorgen. Good morning. If the audio sounds a bit different, it is because I have the hoodie of my parka over my head. Otherwise, the wind would blow in my face directly. The the fake fur around my hoodie keeps the wind from blowing directly into my face. Keeps the face and the ears that much warmer. This is Transavia to Thessaloniki. Sam, goedemorgen. is looking like the tugger with the Dreamliner is going to cross the runway pretty soon. It's looking ready. I think they already let one of those tuggers go. Was it? I thought I saw it. Goedemorgen. Dion, mate, thank you so much for your support. Dion Dietvorst is celebrating 6 months of membership. 6 months with a lot of fun and a well-filled lounge is what he writes in Dutch. Hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. If not, let me know. Let me see what I can do to make things better. Is the audio of the ambient overpowering because I can lower the ambient a little? The wind is blowing in this direction, so it amplifies the ambient audio. You can turn it down a notch, make it a little better. Eric is also celebrating. He is celebrating 7 months of membership. Mate, thank you so much for your support. No accompanying text, just a smiley, a content smiley. At least that's what I interpret that smiley to be. If I interpret that incorrectly, let me know and let me see what I can do to make things better. Jeroen, goedemorgen. Peter K, good morning, mate. Maria says ambient is a bit loud indeed. Well, I already lowered it. Is it better now or is it still too much? I spy with my little eye the Sun Express Istanbul livery. Jason Curtis Coot, doing morning cardio as always. Good afternoon to Anil, who is tuning in from Malaysia. LC878, guten Morgen. Hey Manzi, good morning. The KLM 737 that was before this airplane will be going to Nice, and this will be going to Konya in Turkey. Sun Express Istanbul livery, flight 1445. 17-year-old airplane, first flight February 2008. JZ Road, good morning. Eddie, goedemorgen. Jan, goedemorgen. Here where they are taking their time to line up and are relatively close by that you can appreciate liveries like this the most. Another one where there are a lot of details in the livery. A tram. Children's drawings by the looks of it. Looking sweet. Bump bump. The Dreamliner is getting tugged across the runway. Niels, good morning. Gilberto, good morning. Rob, goedemorgen. David, good morning. I am Yayodi, good morning. And welcome everybody else who may have joined in the meantime. I see a familiar sighting. A ship has arrived. Hey, goedemorgen.
Wat een windje.
Ja, ik hoop dat je warm gekleed bent hoor. Het is echt koud.
Ik ben op de rollen, maar...
It is pretty chilly with being exposed here to the wind.
I didn't expect the wind. Canada special livery?
That was Sun Express, the Istanbul, greenish. I didn't pay attention to that, but it was Sun Express, the Istanbul with the children's scribblings on them.
I saw it from the distance.
I thought they also said in the chat that it was looking like something Canadian. That would be something, a Canadian 737 over here. Quite a feat. Yeah, well, if you fly via Iceland, it's possible. I think Wow Air used to do it. Flying to the United States via Iceland.
Oh, then there's all kinds of routes if you really want, because smaller airplanes, if they have to fly them over from US to...
Oh yeah, yeah. They also...
do some landings in between.
Now we have a beautiful specimen over here, ITA Airways. ITA Airways 8220. Marijke, goedemorgen. JM, good morning. Fabian, goedemorgen. DJ James DJ Privé, goedemorgen. I think there is a wide body coming our way in the background. KLM 777 to Cape Town in South. How's the ambient, guys? Is it still too overpowering or is it balanced? That's what you get when you have wind blowing into the camera. It gets pushed up. Need to use the tilt axis lock here. Ciao ragazzi! The Juliet Bravo tugger just now beeped while passing by. Right, balanced. Cool. It's always a bit tricky finding the proper balance. If the wind is blowing away, you need to put the ambient audio a little higher. If it is blowing directly to the microphone, it gets a little overpowering. Ethan, good morning. Tina, goedemorgen. Karsten, goedemorgen. Erik, goedemorgen. Spinams, good morning. Louis, good morning. So we have Ita over there, and we have a 777-200 over here, looking us straight in the face. I thought so. I saw two people coming over here. The reticents are also on their way. Hope they are dressed warm enough.
They are for attack.
Yeah, so they should come prepared. They already said yesterday that they were expecting today was going to be colder than yesterday, with the sun and less wind. Yeah, and the icing yesterday was really stubborn as well, at least on my car. This morning only the front window. Okay then, going to Cape Town. 777-200. The captain, he is focused on steering the machine. Hey, good morning. Hope you guys are dressed warm. It definitely is colder than it was yesterday. Yeah. I said to Jendrosek that you already mentioned it yesterday. Excellent. Excellent. You need all the layers that you can get. Yeah. Well, I had the winter hat on while setting up, but it was still cold in my neck, so I opted for the hoodie instead. It also, with the fake fur, helps when the wind is blowing in the face, that it reduces it severely. Also, when you're riding your bicycle, that helps tremendously. Putting on the hoodie if you have a fur around it. Get the hell out of my country. Not having ridden a bike in 20 years. All I hear is excuses. Get the hell out. Don't ever come back. What the F are you guys doing here? Free rain shower is blowing our way, ladies and gentlemen. In the meantime, Emirates Sky Cargo going to Frankfurt over here, flight 9918. Martijn, goedemorgen. Rick, goedemorgen. Floris, goedemorgen. Silje, good morning. Jurk, goedemorgen, good morning. Renate, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. I'm here with ground crew in the form of Jen Drosek and both Reticents on their last day here in the Netherlands for now. Although I'm not sure, with Reticent Guy just now admitting to never having ridden a bike in the last 20 years, I'm not sure if he is allowed back in the country. I can already see, I was jokingly mentioning a free shower, but I can already see that a few of the spray droplets have come onto the lens of the camera. Typical. Alright, A321neo to Zurich lined up over here right now. Let's see, A321neo over here, E2 Ember 195 over here, going to Belgrade. American Airlines over there, that will be taking off from runway 24, most likely. This is KLM flight 1919 and A321neo to Zurich. Delta Airlines in the background, looking to be lined up on runway 24. KLM flight 1983 to Belgrade. This is an E2 Embraer 195. Apple Flaps, good morning, goedemorgen. Diony, goedemorgen, good morning. Armen Moore says boarding completed. He will be on flight 1799 to Düsseldorf. Armen, are you seated next to a window on the left hand side? Because when you are turning onto the runway, we should be able to see you. And if you hold your torch in front of the window, we should be able to see it still when you are lined up on the runway. That definitely would be nice. First, warm coffee before cool vodka. Nijhoff Richard, goedemorgen. Spijker, goedemorgen. Armin says flight mode. That isn't necessary, mate. That is utter nonsense. That is a myth that has been debunked on several occasions already. You don't have to put your phone in flight mode to prevent the airplane from crashing. That is a myth based on nothing. The only thing it will do is drain your battery, because when you don't have reception, your phone will just put out a strong signal to find any reception. But that is an urban myth, that you need to put your phone on flight mode in an airplane, because otherwise the plane might crash. That's utter nonsense. Fritz, guten Morgen. Mr. F, good morning. Chi Hong, good morning. David Wolf, goedemorgen. Hey, good morning, Jay. Welcome back, mate. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back. KLM flight 1709 to Luxembourg, an Embraer 190. Yep, you're right, Peter. They do say it every time. But it is actually not going to crash the airplane if everybody isn't using airplane mode. KLM 737-800 to Berlin, flight 1775, and another one of those 737-800s behind it, going to Venice. Hey Matt, goedemorgen. Chinese A350 that is going to fly to Taipei, live on flight radar. What time will that leave? Hopefully before 11, because then it should be coming this way. I think that is Gary Grebe over there. Yeah, that's Gary Grebe over there in the water, like a little island. Mark H also back in the chat, and he comes in with a bang, 5 gifted memberships just now. Mate, thank you so much for your generosity. That is so sweet. A warm welcome to the Aurora Skylines new members. If you are one of the recipients of Mark H's gifted memberships, don't forget to say thank you to him. Enjoy the custom emojis that you now will have at your disposal for a month. Have fun with them. Don't forget to say thank you to Mark. Mark, once again, thank you so much for your kindness. 5 new members courtesy of you. Amazing. Martijn asks if Queens will come today. I am not sure 100%, but usually when we are at this location, usually there's always one. I'm hoping we will get to see one, if not more, of course. Do I know sure? No. Reason being, the departures of 747s, insofar as they are mentioned in the departures lists, are almost always off. It's always something else than what they are scheduled to leave at, which is why it is very hard to estimate whether or not you're going to see Queens. Arrivals, much easier to predict, because you can watch on flight radar and see what is airborne already. But departures, you have to base on the departures list, and yeah, that's tricky. insofar as they are mentioned on the departures lists. The estimated time of departures almost always is off. Ali Rob, goedemorgen. June, good morning, goedemorgen. Eduard, goedemorgen, good morning. Lance, good morning, mate. My fellow Earthling. Another E2 Embraer. Going to Florence or Firenze. Flight 1653. Bump bump, the crossing of runway 0927. And Edward Spruit renewing his membership. Welcome back, mate. Thanks for renewing your membership. We kept your seat warm. Nice to have you back, Edward. Thank you so much for the support. Oh, it's the firefighter. Have a look. It's not B40. That little cube shaped truck, but it is a firefighter truck of sorts. Right, that A350 going to Taipei is still alive and kicking. I'm wondering if it is going to come this way. Hey, what's happening with United? Is that returning to the gate? Didn't we see this airplane taxi from right to left towards runway 24 earlier? Looks like something is up with this United. Because I'm pretty sure it didn't land on the Kaagbaan just now and it is headed for the gate because it just arrived. I'm pretty sure that this was supposed to be outbound. And Ethan Allen just now gifting 10 memberships and riding. Let's start a membership drive. Ethan, thank you so much for such great generosity so early on in the stream already. Don't know what I did to deserve this, and I don't know if there is going to be a drive or not, but thank you so much for those 10 gifted membership, and I hope that everybody who just received a gifted membership from you will also say thank you. Have fun with the custom emojis. That goes for all members, new and old, gifted or non-gifted. There's 34 of them, and I challenge you all to use them more often and use them whenever you see fit. The more inappropriately, the better. Renee says, isn't that the 909 that needed to wait for a gate? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I wasn't paying attention to the arriving traffic that much, so I'm not sure what's going on there. It landed, okay. Right. Well, I'm focused on the outbound traffic here, so apologies for any confusion that I might have created. Still curious to see when that A350 to Taipei is due to leave. Over here we have our next departure, an Embraer 190 to Turin. Video kijken, goedemorgen. Super eminent, goedemorgen. And now Mark H is following suit with another 5 gifted memberships. Come on, guys. We only just begun. Thank you so much, Mark, for once again 5 gifted memberships and a warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge new members who just received a gifted membership from Mark H. Don't forget to say thank you to him. Enjoy the 34 custom emojis that you now will have at your disposal. Mark H, once again, thank you so much for your generosity and welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members. The Embraer 190 is leaving for Turin. Big airplane in the background coming this way. Has that just arrived or? Oh wait, no, there's a tugger in front of it. Never mind. Little bit of moisture on the runway, as you can see. Little bit of spray when the airplane is rotating. Metal bird in the bottom, going out. Flesh and bone bird in the foreground. Fetal kestrel. Nice combo shot. Both metal and flesh and bone birds. Question is, are we going to see 747s in today's show? Answer, I don't know, but I am hoping for at least one, if not more. This is KLM flight 1931 to Geneva. It's a 737-800. The Papa Hotel Bravo X-Ray Golf, 25 years old. First flight June 2000. Hey Artjan, goedemorgen. Hey Stacy, good evening. It certainly is chilly over here, Stacy. Temperatures not far above freezing, and we have a lot of wind and no sunshine. It is freezing cold to the extent that when I put my phone in my phone holder on my camera, I usually take it out of the case. But I got a notification in a few seconds already that the phone charging was going to slow mode because of the cold. So I put the case back on my phone. Now it seems to be loading or charging at normal speeds insofar as necessary. In the summer it's the other way around. If there is no wind and the sun is shining on the phone, it gets too warm, which is why I always take it out of the case. But on a day like today, with cool temperatures and with wind, you even have to protect it from getting too cold. Björn, goedemorgen. Kafil, good morning. Arjan, goedemorgen. J0 asks, any retros scheduled this morning? I don't know for sure. I didn't check extensively what we are going to expect over here. Old school spotting, let's just be surprised by what we will see. Gilberto, thank you for your super chat. Gilberto asks, do Poldy mother duckers wear coats today? Let's have a look at them in a moment. The mother duckers. Let's have a look first at Gary Grebe. He is looking a bit chilly, but not wearing an additional layer of clothing. Chris Good also seems to be okay. Oh no, that's just a branch overhanging. I thought maybe it was aquatic birds as well. Now, Over here we can look over the cycling path in line with the cycling path to the BizJet apron, where all seems calm. I don't think I've seen any BizJets taking off here since I arrived. There's the windsock indicating the wind. Martin Air, a Transavia hangar. Ah, speaking of retros, we have Transavia retro over there. More Transavia, KLM. Ah, a cheater on cheater's lane. Interesting. Cheater on cheater's lane and Michael Walker renewing his membership. Welcome back to the Aurora Sky Lounge, Michael. Thank you for renewing your membership. We kept your seat warm. Thanks for renewing your membership and welcome back, mate. This is KLM flight 1901 to Vienna. A 737-800. Now there's an Austrian to Vienna also coming this way, which I'm not sure if it is going to take cheater's lane. Probably it won't. Aviation now, good morning. TPV, goedemorgen, good morning. Welcome to the show, one and all. If you guys are enjoying the show, don't forget to leave a like if you want to help this channel grow. And subscribe if you want to participate in the chat, or if you want to post stuff in the community section, or if you just want to stay informed of upcoming live streams, new polls and other stuff like that. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi in the chat. It isn't mandatory, but it is always appreciated. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. A great many are watching. Most of them are knowledgeable. They're all friendly. So don't be afraid to interact. You're more than welcome, Michael. You're more than welcome. Hey, Top Dog, good morning. Over here, Austrian flight 312 to Vienna. Embraer 175 behind it, KLM. That will be leaving for Stuttgart. I'm also hearing GE90s being started, and I'm wondering where is the sound coming from. Answer probably right from there. No, wait, that's Delta. That's an A330. Oops. Can't be that one then. Another United on the move. American. Could it be this specimen starting its engines? Its right engine is already starting. I'm thinking this is the one now also being started. And here we have Austrian. Austrian flight 312 going to Vienna. Thought for a moment that the pilot was looking in our direction. Threw a wave to him, but guess he didn't see. That's okay. Austrian flight 312 to Vienna, A320, 17 years old, first flight May 2008, the OELXC, Lima X-Ray Charlie. Marcel says that the Tramrad Lifeliner will be going to Terminal 1. Well, in that case, we should see it at some point. Unless they are already to a different call. The helicopter should probably come from the port area west of the city of Amsterdam, which is where the nearest base is. Hey Ini Mini, goedemorgen. Adi, goedemorgen. Vaxier, good morning. Marchola, good morning. And welcome to the show, everybody else who may have joined. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're at the northern threshold of runway 18 left, which is being used for departures here today. I'm joined by ground crew in the form of Jen Drosek and both Reticents, who are here on their last day for now. Coming back again around Christmas next month. So if you are picking up some people talking, it's because there's the ground crew over here and we are the only guys that are silly enough to get out here in the cold. Oh, and there's the Lifeliner as indicated going to Terminal 1. Lifeliner on its way to Terminal 1. Indeed, DW Wolf. Jan was having a Hertog Jan. You saw that correctly. And Prost on behalf of DW Wolf. KLM flight 1503 to Madrid is over here. Still no movement on the platform where that A350 to Taipei is alive on flight radar. Claudia, goedemorgen. Intervloek spotter, guten morgen. Drummer Manuel, good morning. Manuel asks, isn't it too cold to be standing there? Well, actually it is. But if you are crazy enough like we are, then no. And you need a lot of clothing and layers, and in my case also heated gloves, to be able to hold out here in the cold. Martijn, goedemorgen. Ben the man, good morning. So, big picture overview, looking to the south, this is what it looks like. This is what the east looks like. This is what the west looks like. There are a few showers over the North Sea, or at least there were this morning. Now looking to the north, it is most cloudy. If all is well, it should stay dry here. KLM flight 1971 to Lickety Split in Croatia. Bump, bump. That is the airplane crossing runway 0927. Despite the extensive renovations earlier in the year, for which the runway was closed almost half a year, if not more than half a year, they didn't take care of the height difference. There always used to be a bump. Now, after the renovation taking place last year, there still is a bump. Ooh, I'm already getting cold looking at Reticent Wife, who took off her jacket to put on additional layers to then put back on her jacket. Yeah, you need layers over here. More and more layers to come.
Lasagna weather.
Lasagna weather, yeah, we're all feeling like lasagna, human lasagnas here. Could go for a slice of lasagna, speaking of which. Oh, I still have some warm coffee. This is KLM flight 1513 going to Barcelona, where hopefully for the passengers it is a bit warmer than it is over here. Alright, Ambra, this is the Red Wine Express going to Bordeaux. Although it is Air France. Air France up. Indeed, super eminent. If you don't look like the Michelin man, you're not wearing enough layers. Well, we're all looking like Michelin men over here right now. Oh, thank you, Marijke. Marijke's super chats. Thanks for streaming during the Ice Age. Well, hopefully this Ice Age will not be as long-lived as the ones in prior history used to last. Me, I'm... Mammoth. We're hoping for more global warming here. I'm thinking of buying a Hummer next year so that we can pump out more CO2. yeah, absolutely, everything on it. Yes, yesterday my YouTube feed suggested me a video. Those American trucks and then drag racing. You see all that black smoke coming out of those exhaust pipes. Those people standing on the wrong side if the wind is blowing the smoke in their direction. They cannot see anything after the trucks have passed. It's
like 4250 and it has 8 liter cubes in it, and then it's tuned to just switch all the diesel in.
Yeah. And they drag race them just as the empty trucks, but they also have drag races when they have big trailers with 6 big stacks of lumber on them, like 120 tons of cargo or something. Just to put out more CO2. In the meantime, look at this Inception scene. Get out of my way, little buddy.
Oh, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out the way.
KLM flight 591 in the background going to Johannesburg, South. And in the foreground we have an A220 going to Toulouse. In the meantime, also a big thank you to Marjola for your super chat for a nice cup of hot coffee. Thank you so much for that, Marjola. Much appreciated. Will definitely get me a cup after I'm done with the stream. Thank you so much. What a sight, eh? That's a gorgeous Swiss A220. Once again, I thought that the pilot was looking, but guess not. Bad Zurzach. Hey, Atlas 747 to Seoul on the move, Gasco says. There's an Atlas 747 coming. That's good news. Thanks for keeping us posted. Another heavy hitter to Dar es Salaam is also coming. Dar es Salami. Those are the inhabitants. They're called Dar es Salami. Salami. Grrr. Vegetarian salami, that is. Grrr. Salami, salayu, salawi, sala everyone. Right, Caleb at 591 to Johannesburg, South Africa. National Park Wolong. That doesn't sound like a Dutch national park. And KLM flight 1799 also on its way. Armen on board. We still don't know, or maybe you guys do, but I maybe missed it, whether or not he is seated next to a window on the left. Indeed, Honda, will we see the light? That is the question. And thank you, Jador, who says you have a very entertaining broadcast. I do my best. Glad to hear you are enjoying, and I hope that goes for everybody. If you are enjoying what you're seeing, don't forget to leave a like. It'll help the channel grow. And maybe subscribe if you want to participate in the chat. Or post posts in the community section. Will we get spray again? A free rain shower? I think so. Okay, so I didn't miss anything. Maria says Armin never said where he was seated, so mystery. A mystery that will unfold quickly. Now, emerging from the spray in a few seconds is Atlas. There it is. Coming our way. Bigger contrast with a 777 and an Embraer 175.
Oh, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out the way.
Bob also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Hope you've had a good day. Thomas, good morning. Welcome back, mate. Hope you're doing well. Here in the foreground we have KLM flight 1817 to Frankfurt. That's number 175. Behind it is KLM flight 579 going to Dar es Salaam, which I believe is in... That's the PHBVF. Yes, eye contact. Both the first officer and the captain were waving. They saw us. Flipping A. That's KLM flight 1817 going to Frankfurt. And in the meantime, over here we have a big fat 777-300 going to Dar es Salaam. Little Georgian Airways 737 behind it, going to Tbilisi. And behind that is going to be KLM Flight 1799 to Düsseldorf with Armen on board. Atlas Air should be coming this way. Yakushima, Gesundheit. Fire in the hole. And 777 on the roll. Bump, bump. Look at the tips of the wings flexing up and down. And thank you so much for your encouraging words. David Wolf, who is celebrating a month of membership, he writes, boy oh boy am I enjoying this channel, keep it up. I'll do my best, mate. If you guys are enjoying, don't forget to leave a like, help this channel grow. Georgian Airways to Tbilisi. It is looking like a very interesting alphabet. Very elegant, curly. Just curious. Oh, is that... Yeah, that's Garuda. Garuda over there. Nice. Armen's airplane. Flight 1799 to Düsseldorf. And here we have a queen coming this way. Good morning, Monster Tube. Good morning, Peter. Kaira, goedemorgen, good morning. Michael, goedemorgen, good morning. Bugolf, Barsten, goedemorgen. Epic headshot in the making. Stick around, just a few more moments. Well, let's see if we can see somebody shining the light. Armen is on board, flying back to Düsseldorf. Is there anyone shining a light? The answer is yes. I'm waving back to him. That's Armen. Armen is shining the light. Can you guys see? Excellent. Armen seated on the left-hand side, using his torch to wave to us. Going back to Düsseldorf. That was amazing. Another epic shine the light. And an epic headshot next after this. Atlas, in the meantime, creeping in the shot in the background, going soul searching. Good flight to Armen, and hopefully see you again soon. Bump, bump. And back to Düsseldorf he goes. And now for something completely different. Going from the very small airplane to the very big. In the meantime, Marianne is celebrating 23 months of membership in Deep Green and 1 month from turning blue. Thank you so much for your support, Marianne. Hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. If not, let me know and let me see what I can do to make things better. Thank you so much for the ongoing support, Marianne. Last month of being a green member. Not sure what Greenpeace will say of it, but I am very thrilled. Congratulations and thank you so much. Captain Jerry also back in the chat. Good to see you, Jerome. Hope all things hope things are well with you. Atlas Air going to Seoul. Flight 8209. 747-400 freighter. November 439 Gin Tonic is the registration. 23 years old. First flight March 2002. Michael also back in the chat. Perfect timing. Hans, goedemorgen. Rally team, goedemorgen. Martin, good morning. Welcome back, lads. Perfect timing. First queen of the show. It's holding. Reason being, this little itty bitty airplane. We have a cheater on cheater's lane. Air Serbia going to Belgrade using cheater's lane. It's a little itty bitty A319 flight 261. More! Hans' favorite. Vueling also taking cheater's lane. Yeah, Atlas didn't pay for Prime indeed. Here we have the exhaust of the APU, the auxiliary power unit. Tugger inbound as well. Liebe, goedemorgen. Good to see you again, mate. Hope all is well. The Tugger is coming back. If you are starting to hear beeps, it might be because they might sound their horn. 747 showtime. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Here we go. Bum bum, flex flex. Russell Crowe has also arrived on the scene. At Schiphol there's always a lot to see. Here is flight 266 to Warsaw and then Burr 190. In the meantime we have a sizable queue over here as well. Bulgaria as well with an A220. Thomas says that there are 2 777s underway as well. That's good news. Is that Chinese A350 already on the move? Doesn't look like it. Singapore has been pushed back. That's good news. And Emirates Flight 146 is also coming this way. Now it is 9 minutes to 11, so in 9 minutes we will see the temporary closure of this runway for 40 minutes. From 11 until 11:40 approximately, this runway is going to close temporarily. And it will calm down here. And then from 11:40 until 1 o'clock, once again, the departures will resume here. DB Basement also back in the chat. Celebrating 3 months of membership. Good morning from the basement. Good morning to you too, mate. Thank you for the ongoing support. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat. And I hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking, mate. Ah, that is unfortunate. Maria indicating that China Airlines to Taipei will depart from runway 24 with an estimated time of departure after 11 o'clock, but before 11:40. The A350 from Singapore is underway. That's good news. That's coming this way. Emirates flight 146 already in the background, also coming this way. Emirates is coming, and Singapore is also coming. Singapore Airlines, the A350. China Airlines to Taipei, unfortunately, will be going to runway 24. Estimated time of departure 11:08. Hey. Hey, where is Emirates going? Emirates is going away. Emirates is going away. What? Does that mean that Singapore is also going to runway 24? This isn't looking good. This isn't looking good. Emirates is going to runway 24 by the looks of it. That means that Singapore will probably also go there. Oh, come on, guys. Come on. At least let Singapore go this way. Lima Golf, guys. Singapore to 24 as well. Oh, come on. Come on. We're being robbed here, guys. We're being robbed here. That is such a bummer. Bulgaria, and it says Armen or something. Mean is that the A350 from Singapore is going to the wrong runway.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong.
Anyway, goedemorgen. Good to see you again, mate. Bevroren patat, goedemorgen. Bulgaria Air to Sofia, flight 462, A22300. The LZ LON, Lima Zulu Lima Oscar November, 2-year-old airplane. First flight July 2023. That is so unfortunate. Lewis says, I heard firework bombs are very popular. Send one to ATC to tell them they should correct runway setup. I will definitely make sure not to do that, Lewis. Don't want to get arrested for being a terrorist. We had some riots in the place I live in a few days ago. Don't think they were using firework bombs, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did set off some heavy firework. Right, for the time being, I suspect that this will be the last departure, the E2 Embraer 195 to Bologna, flight 1663. After that, we are going to have to wait 40 minutes before this runway will reopen again. In the meantime, parallel arrivals are going to commence. Runways 18 right and center are going to be both used for arrivals. And we should be able to see that from over here relatively easily. At least everything going to the center runway. Whiny little airplane. It's already spooling up and then release the brakes. Not release the hounds, but release the brakes. Bump bump. Qatar cargo over there. Obviously also going to the wrong runway. This will be the last airplane for the next 40 or so minutes. Making runway 24 the only runway for departures. The lights were on and pretty soon it will turn off. Means we can start focusing on the traffic that should land on center pretty soon. Should be arriving over there somewhere. In the meantime, let's have a look at the many big airplanes that are going to runway 24 and getting away from us. Hey, that's good news. Garuda is expected to leave via 18 left. Maria is saying with an estimated time of departure of 11:48. The Chinese A350 is on the move, and I am also hearing a helicopter somewhere. Oh yeah, the Lifeliner. Seems to be coming this way. Or is it? Where did it go? The ground crew is still living and breathing despite the cold here. We are the only people who are do the jumping jacks. I've been doing them behind the camera on occasion as well, just to keep warm.
Welcome to the VFET live session.
Yeah, let's entertain. Let's do some exercises in the meantime.
Banana is landing.
Huh? Banana is landing? Oh yeah. Well, there you go.
Delivering tassel.
This shit is bananas. Beep.
Center runway is now in use for arrivals. Let's see. Zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. And switch to inbound traffic on flight radar. It is now an E2 Embraer 195 that's next to land on the center runway. Let's see, where were those airplanes again? There it is. So this is KLM flight 1198. Arriving from Oslo, E2 Embraer 195. So right now, the runway we are standing at, the northern threshold of runway 18 left, is closed, and runway 24 is the only runway in use for outbound traffic. That is because right now an inbound rush hour has begun, which means 2 runways open for inbound traffic. And on a day like today, that means the Polderbaan and the center runway, so parallel arrivals in progress. We are now looking at traffic that goes to the center runway. And from 11:40 until 1 o'clock, once again, the Aalsmeerbaan will open up. Iris says, how about an airplane dance to stay warm? Well, that is only if we cross through 1,000 likes, and we are nowhere near that. So the answer is quite simply no. If you guys don't like the streams enough, then I'm not going to bother with an airplane dance. That is as simple as that. Singapore Airlines, unfortunately getting away from us. I was really looking forward to seeing that. Hopefully we will get to see the A350-1000 later. I saw it on the parking next to the A4 highway when I was arriving here. I see that Corendon flight 5990 arriving from Curaçao, interestingly, is on the glide slope to the center runway. Now number 2 to arrive. Let's see if we can pick it up somewhere. Thinking... no, that's the airplane preceding it. That's the one arriving from Paris. So we need to look a bit further back. I think this is the Corendon. Yep, that's the Corendon World to Fly A350-1000. No, not A350-1000, A350-900. For some reason, it is going to the center runway. This is Corendon flight 5990 arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao. Going to the center runway. I'm wondering if the A330 arriving from Bonaire behind it is going to do the same. From what I can see here on flight radar, it does seem to be continuing to the east a bit longer than if it were assigned to Polderbaan. So I'm thinking it is also coming to the center runway. Which is good, because that is good to see from here. It is a bit murky, John, indeed. Now, truth be told, we are also zoomed in quite far away. This is Corendon, flight 5990, arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao. It's an A350, the EC-NTB, 3 years old, first flight April 2022. And KLM flight 767 is following. It's also on the glide slope to the center runway, interestingly. Hadi Marissa, goedemorgen, good to see you again. Okay, well, 2 wide bodies that are arriving from the west, going to the center runway. They're probably doing a runway inspection or something at the Polderbaan. Otherwise, these airplanes normally would have landed on Polderbaan, which to my knowledge should still be open. Now, with big airplanes like the A380, for instance, you can see the tail once again after it has cleared parking P3. We are, however, going to follow the airplane that is behind the A350. It's KLM flight 767 arriving from Bonaire. A330-200, 8 hours and 43 minutes on the way. The PH-AOF, the FWOF, which I think we also saw leave yesterday for St. Maarten, if I recall correctly. The airplane is 19 years old. Its first flight was in November 2006. Hey there, Acquainted, good morning. Richie, good morning. Claudinka, good morning. It seems that whatever was going on at the Polderbaan is over, because I see that there is a 737 arriving from Birmingham, which now does seem to be on the glide slope to the Polderbaan. Lucky us that we got to see these 2 wide bodies, which ordinarily would have landed on the Polderbaan. It is possible to see traffic to the Polderbaan from here, but it is much harder to see, and you can see much less of it than those airplanes that are landing here on the center runway. Big picture wise, this is what the south is currently looking like. This is looking to the west. You can also see the ground crew over here, still alive and kicking. Looking to the west, a bit more cloudiness is approaching, and this is looking to the north, where it's also cloudy at the horizon and a bit milky closer by. Milkiness also extending to the west. Garuda Indonesia is parked right over there, and that will take off via 18 left at 11:48 or so. Around 11:40, this runway should open up again for departures. It is a temporary closure. It's also the reason why I'm not that regularly going here. I wish that there was more action over here. The stream will also probably last until approximately 1 o'clock, because from 1 till 2 we get the same situation with runway use as we have right now. In other words, nothing going on over here, and just the arrivals and the departures on runway 24. The Fokker 100 on the panorama rooftop terrace over there, publicly accessible. You can even see some people over there on the panorama rooftop terrace. Fokker 100 retired from KLM City Hoppers fleet. Alan, good to see you again. Hope all is well, mate. Now, airplane engines being started. I think it's these airplane engines that we are hearing. The wind is carrying the sounds directly towards us. Well, no, I don't think. Now I'm wondering, were it these airplanes' engines or were it other airplane engines that we were hearing? Traffic on runway 27. Delta on the move. So too is TUI. But TUI is being tugged. Hadi Nico, goedemorgen. Another engine spooling up. This one is already spinning. This one is also spinning, so it's probably the engines of a different airplane that we are hearing. I'm wondering, where then is the culprit? Or is it the Dreamliner's engines that we are hearing? The slats are lowering. Have they already done their controls check? I'm wondering. Delta photo bombing. Thank you so much for that. KLM to Sao Paulo, what I'm hearing. Okay. Is this the one? An A321neo to Paris, and the Delta was Delta Airlines Flight 49 to New York. Yeah, this is the Dreamliner to Willemstad Curaçao, and behind it is the 777 to Sao Paulo. One rolling engine and another rolling engine. And a tractor from right to left. Is that a blue New Holland tractor? I think it might be. Command on route to fly A350 has arrived over here. Where is it going to park? That's the question. The EC NTB. Gasco says, looks like A747 is going to land on center. Is that so? Let's zoom out quickly on flight radar. Oh yeah, Suparna. Thanks for the heads up, mate. Suparna, where art thou? Answer? Over there.
Second pillar of the bridge.
Sorry?
Second pillar of the bridge.
Yeah, I found him. Thanks, Jendrosek. Suparna is arriving. Suparna Airlines, flight 7433, arriving from Chongqing in China. Now at 1175 feet. The airplane is 27 years old. The first flight was in January 1998. Let's see, January 1998, I still had 2 more years of middle school to go before graduating and going to university for the first time. What were you guys doing back in 1998 in January, if you still recall? Paul also back in the chat. Good to see you, Paul. Hope all is well, mate. Welcome back. For those of you joining us later, you may have missed a 747 taking off here. We're at the northern threshold of runway 18 left, the Aalsmeerbaan. When I say we, I'm talking about me, Jendrosek, and both the reticents who are joining me here on ground crew day. The sun is beginning to shine a little. And that is nice because it is otherwise pretty chilly, much chillier than yesterday. Suparna is arriving, 10 hours and 52 minutes. It has journeyed 747-400 freighter. I wonder if we are going to see the tail of the Suparna pass by from behind P3 in a moment. With the A380 we are able to see it, and there we go, we have our answer. The 747 from Suparna has arrived. Working in Libya, the Borg says. Wow. A330. And over there, Chris Coot. Even though he is hiding. There he is. And it's ground crew day over here with the reticents, and looking from behind is Jendrosek. We're still alive and kicking. Gary Grebe is over there as well. What a beautiful specimen of a bird. It's 11:22, and that means that we are halfway through the closure of 18 left. It should reopen again around 11:40. Henrik, buongiorno. Good to see you again. Tune in from the train from Middelburg to Utrecht. And greetings to Roberto as well. The sun is beginning to shine here, albeit bleakly. It's better than nothing. There's also a vehicle coming this way. Oh, come on, focus. Here we go. Back to manual focus. I was about to say Max Verstappen is coming, but it is an F1. Does it have a fifth wheel? It was always looking like it had a fifth wheel in the middle of the back. That's interesting. Don't recall having seen that configuration before. Garuda Indonesia is over here and it will take off via 18 left. Delta diverted yesterday to AMS when it was en route from Salt Lake City to Paris. Toei over there, not Tui but Toei. I suspect you may be right, Paul, that that wheel is probably there to measure stuff. I'm not sure what F designates. TR is training, I think T is technical. I'm not sure what F stands for. We have an A330 coming this way. Lewis says fifth wheel in case the driver is drunk. I'll have one then as well. If that will allow me to drive while drunk, I'll happily accept a fifth wheel on my wagon. Bevroren Patat says my meter is broken, is that so? Right, this is what things look like over here. I think we have Maurice Moorhan over there. Yeah, that's not Chris Coot, that is Maurice Moorhan. Field Kestrel over there. Once again, hovering, looking for Pinky and the Brain. Chris Coot, on the other hand, is over here doing morning cardio. And now we have P1. Authority. Respect my authority. Hey, Wilma is also back in the chat. Good to see ya. So if you just joined us and you're thinking, where are the departures? Be patient. This is always a 40-minute time span when the secondary runway for departures is closed, and that is what this runway is. It is a secondary runway, unfortunately. Means that in just over 10 minutes from now, we are going to get more action again here until approximately 1 o'clock, which is also probably when the stream will end, because after that, an hour of nothingness to fill, and that's a lot. A lot to see, but also a lot to fill. Not a lot of people on the panorama rooftop terrace where this Fokker 100 is situated. The wind makes it pretty chilly to be out. And you can see that only a few people left of the, just below the wing, are there. You may be thinking that airplane is in the way of people wanting to see what's going on here on the apron, but that is not the case. If you've ever visited, and you definitely should if you're ever in the vicinity of Schiphol Airport, because this is a publicly accessible rooftop terrace. You don't need to go through customs, you can just walk in and go up the stairs and go to that panorama rooftop terrace. You'll see that it is a very wide terrace and that Fokker 100 is standing a bit further to the main terminal building, and you can watch everything going on the apron without interference. Indeed, Joke, not a lot of people on the rooftop terrace. That is because it is pretty chilly. Scuderia René, guten Morgen und herzlich willkommen. Grüße zurück nach Bremen. Switching languages always takes a little getting used to. It's a good sign that we see the bird control over there already. They're doing an inspection already of 18 left, and that means they are going to reopen the runway pretty soon. One of the airplanes that will depart via 18 left pretty soon after the reopening is going to be this Garuda Indonesia to Jakarta. That particular airplane is expected, or at least earlier it was scheduled to leave at around 11:48 local time, so 19 minutes from now. I'm wondering which is going to be the first departure of runway 18 left. Are they already pushing it back, perhaps? I'm going to switch again to outbound traffic so that we can see what is going on. I'm wondering, KLM flight 877 to Mumbai is pushed back. Is that going to runway 18 left, or will it still go to runway 24? I think it ought to be a little bit further. I think that hedge is probably in the way. I think it's probably somewhere over there. KLM flight 877, which is destined to go to Mumbai. Actually, I'm thinking I'm hearing its engines being started as we speak. Coming to 18 left. Thank you, Marissa, for looking that up. So KLM flight 877 to Mumbai will already be leaving via 18 left. That is good news. Let's see if I have some lukewarm coffee left in my thermos. Iced coffee. It has turned out to be. In that case, let's just continue with vodka. So KLM flight 877 will be coming to 18 left. Is there anything else on the platform already that might be coming this way? Well, I think KLM flight 1367 to Budapest is also coming. And here we have the bird controller On runway 18 left, inspecting the runway one more time before the runway will open up again. It is the VW, designated K5. It used to be K1. The license plates still say so. You can see that that 5 has a different color than the K. It used to be K1. I think 877 is coming. There it is already. I think this is KLM flight 877, the 777-300 to Mumbai. Hey, awesome. Peter K is celebrating 25 months of membership and he writes, chased for the 3rd year of membership begins. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Thank you so much for your support. I hope that everything in the lounge is still to your liking, Peter. If not, let me know. Let me see what I can do to make things better. 25 months and counting. Amazing. Another member in the deep blue. Thank you so much for the continued support, Peter. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat. And keep posting those interesting pictures that you are making through your telescope, mate. Those are awesome. Head over to the community section. Peter K uses a telescope to make pictures of airplanes that are at cruising altitude. He posted a few examples. Absolutely lovely. And quite difficult to do technically. This is KLM flight 877 to Mumbai. It's a 777-300 and it's going to be the first airplane of the now reopened 18 left. The lights are once again on. Showtime in a few moments. In the meantime, let's do a few jumping jacks to keep warm. It's the feet mostly that are starting to get a little cold, despite having 2 layers of socks. Yeah, TikTok TikTok dances. My shoes are very dirty because when I drove up here, I saw that they removed the fence over there. So I walked over to the end next to the canal because they rerouted the canal next to the McDonald's to see what things look like. But it was really muddy. Tried to wipe it off. I tried. Yeah, well, I'll clean them under the faucet when I get back home. Most important thing is that it is mostly dry on the soles, so don't have to.
And usually in the winter, when toes are getting cold, because vent stuff.
Yeah, well, it's not very severe, but 2 layers does do a lot, but not everything. Not everything. KLM flight 877, 777-300 to Mumbai in India. The Papa Hotel Bravo Victor Victor, 4 years old, first flight December 2020. And Karma Lichi is also back in the chat. Benvenuto, mate. And thank you so much for your ongoing support. 22 months. Hi everyone in the stream. Hi to you too, Karma Lichi. Hope all is well. Nice to have you back. Thank you so much for your continued support, my friend. Almost turning blue in 2 months. Hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. If not, let me know. Let me see what I can do to make things better. Liwe is also celebrating. Liwe is celebrating 31 months of membership, and he writes, time still flies when you're having none. It's particularly when you have none that time seems to be flying, Liwe. Mate, thank you so much for your continued support. Nice to have you back in the chat. Nice to see that you found some time. Hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking, and I hope modding is too. If not, let me know. You know how to reach me. Hope you'll stick around for many, many more months to come. both as a moderator and as a very valued member. It's a 777-300. National Park, Cocos Island. Coco Island. No? Cocos Island. 777-300. It is 11:38. And this specimen is expected to leave in 10 minutes or so from now. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that. Would be nice to see it getting pushed back, starting the engines and coming this way. And indeed, the airplane to Budapest on Cheaters Lane already rising in the distance. Cocaine Island, yeah, that's it. That's it. National Park, Cocaine Island. That sounds like a blast. Right, fire in the hole. Still moisture left on the runway, as you can see. Though not as much, luckily, as in the beginning of the show. The wind is still blowing from the south, as you can see. Maurice Moorhan, in the meantime, has found his way over here. Oh, and he has a mate with him. Two Moorhans over here. Lewis says, if you plan to visit the island, Cocaine Island, don't forget to bring your straw. Or maybe a crisp banknote. That will also...
It would warm up us right now.
It would warm us up right now, definitely.
We need a small mirror and a credit card.
Yeah.
Set for the whole week, nothing else.
Well, next time next time we meet up, make sure that we bring the stuff along.
Yeah, but then you would have to come with a bike and pull your trolley behind you.
Nah, I would just drive the car. Perfectly fine, perfectly capable of driving the car under such circumstances. I'm pretty sure I would manage. Right, the next airplane taking off here should be Air Europa, says Marissa. It has been pushed back, unlike Garuda Indonesia. If all is well, this is Air Europa looking us straight in the face, flight 1098. Now, I think the first departure will be KLM flight 1959 to Istanbul, which is already on the move. Unless Air Europa makes haste. Freddy Dutch also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Hope all is well. Welcome to the show, everybody else who may have joined us later. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're here at the northern threshold of runway 18 left. I'm joined with a ground crew of 3 in the form of the Reticents, who are here on the last day of their visit for now. See them again next month. And Jendrosik is also over here, and we are still living, thriving, maybe even. Well, surviving is what it is. Yeah, it's been warmer here. Then again, it also has been colder.
It has been better here. It has been dry.
It has been better, it has been worse. But it's definitely not an average day. One of the 2 airplanes in KLM's fleet in the SkyTeam livery. This is one of them, a 737-900. In the background, KLM Flight 757 going to Panama City. That's going to runway 24. KLM Flight 1959 to Istanbul in Turkey. And in the background, Air Europa, which will be leaving for Madrid. And the Red Wine Express is also coming this way, Marissa says. Thanks for keeping us informed. KLM to Bordeaux. Plevier. Is that the name of this airplane? Ah, Jerome, mate. Captain Jerry Donnelly just now went ahead. He gifted 10 memberships. Mate, thank you so much for your generosity. You didn't have to do that, mate. But thank you for doing it anyway. A warm welcome to the Sky Lounge new members who just received a membership by Captain Jerry Donnelly. If you are one of the recipients, don't forget to say thank you to him. Have fun with the custom emojis that you now have at your disposal for a month. There's 34 you can use, and you can use them whenever you want. Get creative with them. I implore you. They're there to be had fun with, so make sure you have fun with them. Air Europa to Madrid. He is coming to town. Kudos to the ground crew, according says Marissa. Absolutely, these are hardcore mofos that are here, weathering the cold. Absolutely troopers. Hey Dennis, goedemorgen. Air Europa. The Mateo Sanchez with hail damage. The paintwork seems a bit damaged. Right. Mateo Sanchez. Captain Jerry super chats. I am so drunk. I just shaved my whole body from head to toes. I am Captain Clean. Well, in that case, Captain Clean, be careful that you're not getting too cold, because if you have temperatures over there that we have over here, being completely clean is not the way you want to be. Now, be careful that you don't injure yourself, Captain Jerry. thank you so much for your super chat. You didn't have to use a super chat to get your message across, you know that, right? Be careful, don't trip and fall if you did have a little too much to drink. Last thing we want to hear is that you injured yourself while being drunk and have to go back to the hospital or stay in hospital for longer. Be careful, mate. With number 175, it is the Red Wine Express. It's going to Bordeaux in France. Flight 1443. 9-year-old Embraer 190. No, 175. First flight, May 2016. Still no sign of movement over at the apron where the Garuda Indonesia is parked. Ah, that's a nice little added bonus. Captain Jerry is so clean, his farts don't stink anymore. Must remember that then.
He needs to compensate farts. I think that's a good solution.
It's balanced, is what it is. It's sustainable. Right, the Red Wine Express. Waiting. And I'm wondering why. Is there anything taking off via runway 22? That doesn't seem to be the case. Trying to see if I can spot some movement, and right as I am saying those words, obviously the traffic on the runway starts moving. That has happened so many times already. The moment I start looking around me to see why the holdup is taking place, the holding airplane starts moving. Well, there you go.
Yeah, usually I go down first again because
Garuda Indonesia has popped up on flight radar right now, so that is a good sign. That's an indication that it's going to go out soon. So let's keep our camera focused to it. Thank you, RDM, who says dinero de gasolina. Thank you so much for that, mate. In other words, gas money. Much appreciated, RDM. Thank you so much. Hey, Frank Aviator is also back in the chat. Good morning, Frank. Hope you're doing well. Good to have you again. Garuda Indonesia flight 89 to Jakarta. There it is. It's a 777-300 and you can see it already on flight radar. It should be getting pushed back pretty soon. In fact, that has just begun. Garuda on the move, pushed back, in progress. That is a 18 left departure. It has the mask. And apparently the mask attaches via an open window. So if you are in business in Garuda Indonesia in the front, it's probably just as cold as it is over here. A bit of a low-tech solution, I must say. And plus they also have to keep the doors closed in that front compartment to make sure that when they are on cruising altitude, they don't get low cabin pressure. I probably would have opted for some exterior fixation point, but apparently it's going through the window indoors. I guess if the airplane flies around in Indonesia where it is almost always warm, it's not a problem. Not sure if they thought about the side effects of this solution when they also started flying to the Netherlands with this machine. Hadi Peter, goedemorgen. QJ, goedemorgen. Bon festejo, good afternoon. I think we're hearing the GE90s being started. That's the one starting. That's the one that still has to start.
I shouldn't even. Yeah, and I'm totally fine with it.
Pretty soon they'll do the controls check. Right. Aileron check. You can see that the slats are lowering. The flaps are set. Elevators check. And lastly, they will check the rudder. Adi Gerrit, goedemorgen. Good to see you again. René, goedemorgen. In the meantime, also a massive big thank you to Mark van der Wild, who just donated via PayPal. I received the notification. Wel koud, maar wel weer een mooie livestream. It is cold, but it is a nice livestream, he writes in Dutch. Mark, thank you so much for your kind words and for your donation. I'm glad to hear you are appreciative of what we are doing over here. Hope that goes for everybody. Before Garuda will take off, let's have a look at this beautiful ITA. ITA A220 going to Milan, Bombardier C-Series 100. Oh, and that is the Dash 8 100 landing. Coast Guard Dash 8 100 landing there. ITA Airways flight 121 to Milan, Bombardier C-Series 100. Oh shoot, and now I accidentally clicked on the destination airport, so now my flight radar map is all the way in Italy. Let's see, Cologne, I'm back in Germany and back in the vicinity of Schiphol.
It feels so relaxing, you know, you are sipping your
Here we have Garuda Indonesia, and it has begun moving. In the meantime, looking at the big picture, there is cloudiness slightly slowly drifting in from the west. This is now looking to the west, and overhead this is what it looks like. Looking to the south, it currently is looking like so. The west is still more or less open, and the north lastly is also relatively open, even though on ground level, if you look at the windsock, the wind is blowing from the south. The cloudiness that is over there in the west is definitely slowly but surely drifting this way. If I'm not mistaken, overnight we are expecting some snow, and also tomorrow in the afternoon. I think tomorrow in the morning hours it should be okay. So hopefully I will be able to do another stream tomorrow in the morning hours. Garuda Indonesia coming this way. But where there's one ETA, a second one is never far away. ETA flight 107 going to Rome. That's an A320neo. And there's the triple from Garuda right in front of the tower. Busiest jet taking off from runway 22. Frank says, whenever I see an ETA, I am always up for pizza. I have the same thing, mate. Or pasta, indeed. Howdy Mike, goedemorgen. Mike is tuning in from nearby Purmerend. That's ETA on the roll. And we have Garuda with the mask coming this way. Hey Jeff, also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Garuda Indonesia. Going to Jakarta, flight 89. The Ayo Pakai mask I think we might have our stream thumbnail here. Garuda Indonesia on its way now. 10-year-old airplane already. First flight of this airplane was in August 2015. The Papa Kilo Golf India Juliet. Is there still spray on the runway, you might be wondering? Well, yes there is. As demonstrated by Garuda Indonesia just now. What a beautiful machine that was. Back to the business at hand. Over here we have Hans' favorite Vueling flight 8315 going to Barcelona in a few moments. Vueling flight 8315. Lights are on. Hans' favorite indeed. Björn is asking about Finnair. Finnair will be leaving via runway 24 if it will take off. That's always a Kaagbaan departure, unfortunately. In the meantime, Mizam As is celebrating 13 months of membership. Mate, thank you so much for the support. My best day ever, just AMS. Well, thank you so much for the kind words, Mizam, and for the continued support. I hope that everything in the lounge is still to your liking. If it isn't, let me know and let me see what I can do to make things better then. Mizam As, 13 months a member. Thank you so much for your continued support. Hope you're going to stick around for many, many more months to come. Ideally as a member, but if not, that's also cool. Membership is optional and isn't mandatory. The only thing mandatory is subscribing if you want to participate in the chat, or if you want to post in the community section, or if you want to support the channel in general. KM Malta, flight 395 to Malta. Coming this way, it's an A320neo. Explore more culture. Get a museum card. Which is a card that you can get in the Netherlands. I think it is 80 or so euros, but it will grant you access to almost all of the museums that the Netherlands has for an entire year. Okay, Malta on its way now. Turning and burning. Super Eminent has to go. Thank you so much for joining. Hopefully see you again later. Hadi Lise. Who definitely supports me in general. I should hope so.
But I'm considering this the weather that it's alright.
I should definitely hope so.
Well, it's already darker and cooler.
In the meantime, Emirates A380 is approaching, Crusader is saying. So let me zoom out on Flight Radar. Oh yeah, A380. It should be within visual range. Oh, it's going to the Polderbaan, of course. Oh. Yeah. Well, here you go. This is what I was talking about earlier. Stuff going to the Polderbaan is harder to see from here. It will vanish behind the infrastructure structures much more rapidly than traffic going to the center runway. Obviously, with 2 runways open for departures, it means only 1 runway for arrivals, the Polderbaan. There it is, Emirates Flight 147. Captain Jerry has to go again. Thanks for stopping by, mate. Hopefully see you again soon. Clean-shaven Captain Jerry Donnelly. Hey, I see a Chinese triple to Guangzhou. Is that coming this way? Nah, that's probably going to 24, isn't it? Here is Tarom. Tarom to Bucharest. QJ asks if it is possible to see the sea gates from this spot. Well, only barely, I would say. I think those are the sea gates, aren't they? No, this is already Delta. So those are the sea gates then. I think this is the sea gate. You guys are leaving.
Yeah, we need to pick up and go to the airport.
Guys, thank you so much for coming over again.
Thanks for the tip for the oily.
The oily balls.
It was great.
Yeah?
Yeah, I loved it.
Did you post a picture? Can we see a picture?
I sent you some, I think. You didn't? Yeah, but we have some pictures. So.
I am looking forward to seeing the pictures of you guys eating the oily balls.
We had two each. Then we returned back to buy some more.
Yeah.
And then when we went back, after a while to get some more, we were in sand and they already closed. So it was successful.
Hey, that's the most important thing, and they'll still be around when you guys come over again next month, so no worries.
After, Croquette, that will be the other thing that we will do right after the arrival.
Yeah, if you arrive in November and December, because otherwise the rest of the year they'll be harder to find. Although there are garden centers that do sell them most of the year, but. The Renaissance are about to leave. They need to go back to their hotel and catch their ride to Schiphol because they'll be leaving later in the day. They will be back again in next month, somewhere around the Christmas holidays. Looking forward to seeing you then. Thank you so much for joining me here today and yesterday as well. Hopefully warmer weather next time you guys are coming over. It's beautiful weather, just a bit cold. Or we need a shed where we can put a heater in. Hey, see you later. Take care. In the meantime, EasyJet taking off. All right, let's see what else is coming this way. We have Pegasus, we have Croatia Airlines. I think there is more EasyJet coming this way as well. A220 from Air France to Paris also seems to be coming this way. And a Turkish A330 to Istanbul also has come alive on flight radar. That should also be coming this way. Here we have Pegasus. Hey, Qatar Cargo has been pushed back and will head to 18 left. Thanks for the heads up, Marissa. So that is also good news. In the meantime, it is looking to be... it's getting more cloudy here by the minute. What time will the snow fall?
I was predicted for tomorrow.
I thought it was going to snow overnight.
I had that hoofddorp,
Yeah.
what it is. It looks kind of foggy or
Yeah,
whitish.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if there's snow, but
it's a bit hazy. But it's also a bit hazy if you look down the runway.
yes. Well,
I think it's just haziness and not precipitation per se.
no, but what I saw just 5 to 10 minutes ago, it looked like a bit of precipitation.
Whoa.
Now that has stopped, but it still looks kind of foggy.
Yeah.
Maybe. In the backdrop, it's kind of white.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not seeing snow.
I haven't received any warnings on my apps yet. That usually warn me for snow, rain, precipitation in general. It's probably going to stay dry here. If not, we'll see. We'll find out soon enough. This stream will continue for another 45 minutes or so, probably. Around 1 o'clock. Once again, this runway will close down. The A340 has also returned, the Dows. Visible over there in the background. The Dows has been repaired and is flying between Suriname and Amsterdam again. Yin also back in the chat, good to see you, mate. Welcome back. I see KLM Flight 565, which is destined for Nairobi in Kenya. In the process of being pushed back, that should also be coming this way. Loller Pilot, aka Olaf, also back in the chat. He says A340-300. Where? This is a 600, isn't it? No, wait. This is a different A340. This is USC Aero. This is a small one. This is a 300. Isn't it? Okay. I think I like the 600 better. Yeah, Muis has to go. Thank you for joining and see you later. Croatia Airlines over here. Off-axis butt shot. Air France Bombardier C-Series 300 going to Paris via Cheaters Lane. Over there in the background. And over here we have Croatia Airlines Flight 451. That's an A319. Air Dolomiti is also coming, by the looks of it. Will that be... oh no, that's A-Jet. A-Jet to Istanbul. Or has it arrived? I think it has arrived from Istanbul. Right, Croatia Airlines Flight 451 to Zagreb. A319, 13 years old, 9 Alpha, Charlie Tango. November is the registration. The first flight of this airplane was in March 2012. So that A340 is getting a gate right where Garuda Indonesia was standing until then. Is that so, Clemencia? Clemencia says that around 1:30 snow is expected around Schiphol. Well, I'll probably be in my car on my way home by then, I think, because after 1 o'clock, when this runway closes again for a complete hour, I don't think there's much added value in continuing to stream.
That would be what's in the backdrop there.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely looking like over there might be a little bit of precipitation falling. Well, whatever. Over here right now, the backdrop is looking really nice. This is KLM flight 1853 on its way to Munich, an Embraer 175, and KLM flight 565 is approaching, as is the Qatar triple in the background over there. That's coming this way as well. Next wide body is over here. KLM flight 565, that's a 787-10 Dreamliner going to Nairobi, which is the capital of Kenya, which is a country in a continent called Africa. Hey Judith, goedemorgen. Or I should say good afternoon, goedemiddag, more properly. Snow, snow, snow the road gently in the stream. Indeed, Frank. Isn't life a dream? GE and X engines. Does everybody have their window open? Looks like it. Well done, well done. Hey Patrick, goedemiddag. Good to see you again, mate. Now, here we have the flapper on. Now in the configuration of the flaps, and have a look when this airplane is going to roll. See what happens then. You'll see that it first goes up and level, then it goes fully down, and then it goes back in line with the flaps again. Qatar cargo in the background. Going to Doha, flight 8206. Huh? Huh?
Christmas already!
It's Christmas already, the Reticents are back!
We underestimated the pickup times, but yeah, he's already going. We were just feeling weird, waiting over there when you were standing over here.
What time do you now have to? 5 minutes.
That's always with Ubers and Bolts in here, the guys are lazy.
But if you walk for 10 minutes to P3, there's a free transfer bus that will take you to the main terminal building.
It's
flapper on going up and going down again. The flaperon does something similar on a 777, though not exactly the same pattern. But you can also see it over here. This is Qatar Cargo Flight 8206 going to Doha. The Alpha 7 Bravo Foxtrot Oscar, 7 years old, first flight August 2018. Another one of those pretty headshots. Okay, the Renaissance are once again leaving. Cheers, all the best guys, take care. So they had an Uber appointment or what?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Offered to drop him off, but he still insisted on taking
They insisted on taking the Uber. Okay. They're too modest. Bump bump. And once again the Renaissance are walking back towards the McDonald's. Being overlooked by Russell Crowe and his crony. In the meantime, over here we have another Embraer 175 to Poznan, KLM flight 1333. Next will be an E2 Embraer 195 to Zurich. And Gerrit is going to eat his lasagna. Oh, we could also go for some lasagna, couldn't we?
Garfield likes lasagna.
Yeah, and I identify as a Garfield-esque person when it comes to lasagna. Absolutely, I do. Are they now? They're waiting for the Uber, and they're waiting at a respectable distance from us.
The chances that the driver is actually here.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's a good chance.
Why he's waiting to pick them up.
Why not walk to the car? All right. Well, whenever there's a hold-up, the question is there somebody on cheater's lane? The answer is no. Then the question is there something going on over there? Tow truck, yeah. Yeah, but not something taking off. And once again, the moment I start looking to see if something is taking off or landing on runway 22, the traffic on 18 left starts rolling. Hey Dyson Rebel, good morning or good afternoon. Stijn, goedemiddag, good afternoon. E2 Embraer 195 to Zurich, KLM flight 1921. 2-year-old airplane, hailing from 2023. And over here we have KLM flight 1955 to Athens. Buddy says, I think you could everything as long as it is fire. Definitely could use some fire over here, a little bit of warmth. You'd think maybe if those airplanes spool up, the warmth of the exhaust comes this way. Not so much. It's not as warm as you would hope. Yeah, they definitely can. Feel free. You do sometimes feel or smell the wafts of the jet fuel, but is that their Uber coming or? Or not? There's the Uber, probably. Yeah, that's the Uber. Is that an Uber without a license plate? Oh, the blue one, right. Right, this is KLM flight 1955 going to Athens, where it's probably a bit more sunny than it is over here. It is a 737-800. I'm looking to see if I can spot the banana, which is going to the Polderbaan, but not seeing anything from here.
Just behind the traffic sign.
The traffic sign, okay. Oh yeah, there is something. Let's have a look and see if that is. Nah, it doesn't look yellow, doesn't it? Does it? No, it's.
Second pillar of the bridge, or first pillar.
Nah. Not seeing anything. Oh wait. Oh, I do see something. Yeah.
First section of the bridge.
That is the banana. Yeah. Looking very pixelated and grayed out.
Windows 98 version.
Yeah, the Windows 98 version. Interesting is that there's also a banana being pushed back and coming to our runway, Marissa says. Well, let's look forward to that then. I think I can already see it on the move. Or, yeah, there it is. There it is.
This shit is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
Could that be the A300 that we also saw land on, I think it was Polderbaan earlier. Over here we have a G leaving the house, going back to Athens. Flight 3625. That's an A321neo going this way. I don't think it's going to snow anytime soon. Looking at the bright atmosphere, the bright sky, it's definitely clearing up over there at the coast. Over here, the sun is no longer shining, unfortunately, but the coloration in the distance is looking terrific. The backdrop is really lovely. Lovely day.
Really, but behind the bridge it looks a bit more grayish.
Yeah.
And more down to the.
It's more to the north now, seemingly. Ah, that was the one that landed at 11:03 from Madrid. Yeah, we were able to catch that one. Captain Papadopoulos is going. There's the banana in the background coming this way. Turkish Flight 1952 seems to be in the process of getting pushed back. It's going to be going to Istanbul and should also be leaving via 18 left. I have to say the lighting today is exquisite. It is looking really nice. Both in real life and on camera.
Yep.
Russell Crowe and his cronies are also... oh, and Russell... Is it a sandwich or a fish? It's right behind... They're right behind the pole. I cannot see. What are they fighting about? Oh, now Russell Crowe also has a bit. Is that a bit of an apple? It's looking like a bit of an apple. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, is what they say. I don't. If there's apples involved, I don't want to have anything to do with it. Well, apple pie is the exception to the rule. I'll happily make an exception for apple pie. Apple pie with apfelstrudel, some vanilla sauce, some hot vanilla sauce, and whipped cream. Whipped cream. Good stuff.
Apfelstrudel? No. Apfelkorn. Sorry.
Apfelkorn. Schnapps. Hey Mitchell on the bike. Good afternoon.
This shit is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Let's get loud. Let's get loud.
A300, 600, going to Madrid. The airplane is 33 years old. First flight was in May 1992. The Delta Alpha Echo Alpha Juliet. Indeed, Dice Rebel, a very appealing livery. Very appealing. Bump bump. Not as much moisture anymore upon rotation as with previous wide bodies, so maybe is the runway drying up? Or did it just rotate earlier at a much drier part? Yeah, could be. Or maybe it rotated early and it rotated where the runway was already dry. Could also be. This is KLM flight 1933 to Geneva. It's an Embraer 175. Paul says, why did the banana go to the doctor? He wasn't peeling very well. Oh, keep him coming, mate. That's a good one. Why haven't I heard of that one before? Okie doke. I'm looking forward to seeing two wide bodies that should be taking off this runway pretty soon. Turkish flight 1952 to Istanbul and also KLM flight 879 to Bangalore in India. KLM flight 1819 to Frankfurt also in the process of being pushed back or just having been pushed back. Should be coming this way as well. Yeah, there's no more spray or anything. Oh, you're talking about the traffic upcoming. Well, right now, KLM flight 1843 to Nuremberg is also underway. That's coming this way. Well, you never know. You never know for sure. I think that airplane going to Nuremberg is over there, coming this way. Or is it? No, this is a 737 and that flight to Nuremberg, that should be an Embraer 190. Interesting. Alright, my phone once again is giving me a warning. Charging delayed because of low temperature. The charging speed will normalize again if the phone gets warmer again. It's also why I have it in the case. When I took it out of the case initially this morning, it was exposed to the wind just a few seconds and already it started giving...
It's metal, so that's superconductive.
It's superconductive, exactly. Which is why in the summer when it gets really warm and there's sometimes hardly any wind, you need to take it out of the case. And now you need to leave it in the case because otherwise it's going to stop charging right away.
Maybe you need a heated case.
Yeah, I need a heated case together with a heated glass. Everything needs to be heated. Hey Klaartje, goedemiddag.
You need a water cooling system.
Yeah, we need it all. So this is definitely a different airplane than I was thinking. This is KLM flight 1583 and it will be going to Lisbon. Turkish is also on the move. Turkish flight 1952 to Istanbul is over there. Here it is, coming our way. Passing by its cousin, the A340. Hey, and Apple Flaps was behind us with his car moments ago. Well, as you could see, I am wearing my hoodie. It is to make sure that my face doesn't freeze off. So I must say today I'm not very aware of what is happening all around me. Yusuf, goedemiddag, good afternoon. KLM flight 1583 to Lisbon, 737-800. There's Turkish flight 1952 to Istanbul, an A330-300. It also is looking like the flight to Bangalore has begun moving. KLM flight 879. That's a 787-10 Dreamliner. Actually looking to the west right now, you can see it is opening up. Bits of blue actually. Lighting today, exquisite. This is KLM flight 1843 to Nuremberg. One of the, not the Britty hoppers, but German Airways Embraer 190s. The pointillism inspired tail. German flag in dots. And here is Turkish flight 1952, which will be leaving for Istanbul in a few moments. KLM flight 879 to Bangalore is also coming. There it is in the background, 787-10 Dreamliner. As soon as those A330 engines turn our way, you immediately start hearing them and they're overpowering everything. In the meantime, there's a cheater on Cheater's Lane. KLM flight 1819 to Frankfurt. Over there. And on the left, we can see KLM flight 879 to Bangalore, which is also coming this way. KLM flight 871 to Delhi, 777-300 is also coming this way. It has been pushed back just now. Hey, copper chopper. That's the copper chopper. KLM Embraer 175 to Frankfurt and Turkish Airlines. Within the background, KLM to Bangalore. Huh? The Delhi flight is going to runway 24, Marissa says. No! Those bastards are already going to close the runway pretty soon. Sorry? Well, it's 12:48, so it should be closing within 10 minutes or so. Disappointing, disappointing, but such is life.
Yeah, it's also cold, so
Life is a constant stream of disappointments. I'm live streaming the disappointments here. Yeah, but it is definitely looking brighter in the direction of the west-southwest. Yeah, it definitely isn't looking like it's going to snow anytime soon. Not here, at least. Yep. Now, question is, will these be the last 2 airplanes then, or is there more coming to runway 18 left still? If the flight to Delhi, well, Iberia is coming. Iberia to Madrid, still coming this way. Nassim in the Volkswagen behind us. Check. One of the taxis on the taxi stand. Nice, Nassim. Okay, so Iberia to Madrid is still coming this way. Will those be the last 2 airplanes then? Will we be able to make eye contact with the captain of the Dreamliner to Delhi? No, not Delhi. Bangalore. Captain is busy lining up the machine. Sneeuwklokje is the name of this airplane, which I think is Lily of the Valley. Tugger with another wide body over there. A330. Which one is this? It's the Fucka, aka the PH, aka the how's your motherfucker? Now, will this be the last departure before the closure, the temporary closure of runway 18 left? What? The only thing I'm seeing of flight radar outbound is KLM flight 1671 to Catania. It might be that it is going to runway 24. In the meantime, things are opening up more and more over here. The wind seems to have changed a little bit to occasionally a bit to the east, southeast. Mostly south. That was KLM flight 879 to Bangalore, a 787-10 Dreamliner. And I'm wondering, will this have been the last airplane since Delta, the KLM to Delhi is already moving to runway 24? Oh? Steep turns by the helicopter. Yeah, bank angle. Can we see a glimpse of that still? It was banking very steeply. That was looking like it was doing almost 90 degrees. It was really steep, as if it was stunting. The copper chopper has returned to base, and this is Spanish KLM Iberia flight 732 to Madrid. It's an A320. 12 years old. It's the easy Lul. Lul means dick in Dutch. This is an easy Lul. Easy dick.
Still hovering.
The helicopter is still hovering, yeah. Oh yeah. Huh? Backing out, backing away, and now, oh! Yeah! What's it doing? Stunt helicopter. Check it out. Check it out. Oh, wow. Doing some maneuvers right there. Okay, the drugs have worn off.
Someone is having the zoomies.
Yeah, it was indeed. I was also thinking it's like a cat having zoomies. What the fudge? Police officers having fun with their helicopter. So you know where your tax money is going to. All right. I think that was the last airplane also taking off here, even though the lights do seem to be on still. With the KLM 777 to Delhi already on its way to runway 24, I am thinking that the runway has closed. Or is there anything coming this way still? It doesn't look like it, does it? Everything destined to go outbound, I think, is going to runway 24 already. Things are opening up over here. The sun pretty soon is going to shine again, and with that happy note, I think it is time to wrap up, because I don't think anything is going to happen here again anytime soon. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. I had a wonderful time, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you did like the stream and you haven't done so already, consider leaving a like. It will help tremendously to reach a wider audience. Also subscribe if you want to stay informed of upcoming live streams, polls and whatnot. A massive big thank you to Jindrsik for enduring the cold here for the entire duration of the stream. Also thank you to the Reticents who joined us earlier in the show. And a big thank you to all of you for joining me here today. I had a wonderful time, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. A big thanks for all the support, for the likes, the super chats, the super stickers, the gifted memberships, and all the other forms of support. You guys are what makes this channel so great, and I hope I will see you all in good health again tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow we'll do another stream. Looking forward to it. And lastly, a massive big thank you once again to the moderators as well for keeping the chat friendly and accessible to all. I'm going to say goodbye now. Take care, stay warm and safe, and see you soon. Bye for now, guys.